All right, Naren, I want to shift gears over to the buyer's journey. Share some of the top tips and concepts you share. You were one of the speakers at the live event. Share the highlight reel of your presentation on the dental buyer's journey.
Absolutely. Like I reminded our listeners at the very start, right? Having the right paradigm, the right map is important. So I'm going to kind of come at it from that perspective. So you're not falling into the traps and making mistakes. The first thing you need to understand is the way people find you determines how much they trust you. So for example, if they click on a Google ad, they will give you 15 seconds. If they click on a social media ad, they will give you 5 seconds. If
And
they
this is data. This is supported by data, correct?
Absolutely. Every single one is supported by data. So good news is you can set up something called Google Analytics. It's a great software to track what's going on your website, where people are coming from, what they're doing. So that's what Google Analytics is showing us. So if they come from Google ads, 15 seconds. If they come from social media ads, 5 seconds. If they come from SEO, 90 seconds. And the question I always get asked
Or is
is
that organic SEO?
organic SEO. So that's
And for our listeners that may not know that term, define what organic search engine optimization means.
Absolutely. So let's say you are starting to research, right? You're trying to learn about a doctor or a practice, or you're trying to learn about a topic. You type in keywords. What are keywords? You might be typing in, simple one is dentist near me, emergency dentist open on Saturdays, pain-free dentist. Let's say I hate going to a dentist and I'm afraid of the pain of going to a dentist. So these are keywords. Sometimes they will add the city name. Sometimes they will add the phrase near me. Sometimes they will add zip code. So there's all these permutations and combinations. And in the case of Life Smiles, a practice we've been working with, that's a practice that Gary introduced us and he used to own. We are ranking for 800 of these keywords. So that's organic SEO. So when somebody types these keywords, do you show up without having to pay money for ads near the top? That's kind of a definition of SEO.
Well, on page one, preferably in the first, second, or third position.
Exactly. Near the top of the page, whatever they type in, you better show up for all the things you do. Of course, if you don't do implants, then you don't need to show up for implants. So 90 seconds for SEO, 15 seconds for Google ads, and 5 seconds for social media ads. And the reason is SEO, they trust you, right? Because they are going to Google, and asking Google, tell me the right answer. So this is what Google shows as the right answer, either as part of the maps or below the maps without an ad. So they trust it because it doesn't have the word ad next to it. The minute they see the word ad next to it, they don't trust it. Their mind goes, what's the catch? What's the catch here? Because they know anybody can advertise. You don't even need to be a dentist to advertise. So they're looking for the catch. Unfortunately, our mind is one of those tools. Whatever we are looking for, we find. Because they're looking for a catch, they find some reason to leave your website. That's why on average, they're leaving in 15 seconds. A book I would recommend, you all should read, it's called The Scout's Mindset. And I don't want to go on a tangent here, but the point the book tries to make is this mindset we come into a situation with changes everything. Like Curtis talked about, right? 90% of the patients think they are doing exceptionally well. I mean, doctors, but the data is telling a totally different story. So Scout's Mindset means don't listen to what your biases are telling you, rather listen to the data, rather look for the truth. That's kind of the nutshell of that book. Anyway, so if you look at social media ads, right, why is it only 5 seconds when Google ads are 15 seconds? With social media ads, they are still an ad, but they have one other weakness, and that is people are not looking for that specific thing you do when they're on social media. This is called intention. Like, what's our intention? What's our mind thinking? What's our mind wanting? So when I'm on social media, my intention is to relax. I'm tired. I'm vegging out. I'm just scrolling through the news feeds, watching those videos. And TikTok knows I like cat videos, so they keep showing me cat videos. And this ad shows up. And, when I see this ad, what do? Maybe I click on it because it just was in front of me and I don't
Could be
even
just
remember.
curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah, just raw curiosity.
Exactly. But what happens is you call them back, they don't show up, or they don't even remember that they clicked on the ad because their mind was not looking for a dentist. Their mind was looking for cat videos. I mean, in my case. So that's called intention. So you have to make sure as part of the dental buyer's journey, are you getting in front of them when they are looking for something as opposed to randomly, right? If you're getting in front of them randomly, when they are not looking for you, you're wasting a lot of time and money. If you, as opposed to you're looking for them, like you are being found when they're looking for you, then that means they are now going to get something out of this because they want it. So that's one of the lessons I shared, right? Like, so understanding the differences between social media ads, SEO, and Google ads, and knowing where trust is working for you and where trust is working against you.
Awesome, Aaron. I know you've got such a wealth of information in your data set because of the clients that you work with. You know what's working, and also we have to recognize that it's a moving target.
Can I?
Google is constantly changing their criteria, so they can't be gamed. So they're constantly changing their ranking algorithm in terms of how do you get on page one. Because if it was easy to get on page one, then Google would not have any validity.
Yeah. So to add to what you're saying, Gary, 95% of the practices don't get traffic for free through search engine optimization. Why?
And you
Because
could extend that to say 95% of all websites on the World Wide Web, not just dental, but all
exactly,
websites get zero organic traffic from Google.
exactly.
Is that accurate? Am I saying that accurate?
Absolutely accurate. There's been a study where they studied 900 million websites and web pages, and they found around 95% get almost no traffic and 5% get all the traffic. Why? Because think about it. For somebody to be motivated to spend money on Google ads, they should not get free traffic. So if you limit the number of people who are getting free traffic, then that means you can now make a lot of money from the 95% who gets no free traffic by selling them ads, right? So Google made $224 billion in 2022. So it's a brilliant business model, right? You have 5% of the people, you give them things at no cost, and then you make a killing from the other 95%. It's just the perfect business model. The other point I shared during the event was the second step in the dental buyer's journey, which is, okay, fine. They find you. If they click on an SEO link, they're going to give you 90 seconds. If they're clicking on a Google Ads link, they're going to give you 15 seconds. Now, how do you convince them to pick up the phone and call you, right? Because if they're not convinced, then again, you being found is not helping you, right? It's just, you finished the first part of the race, but you didn't even run the second part, so you lose anyways. So you have to run the second part. And unfortunately, again, looking at data, 95% of practices don't do a good job in the second part either. The second part is all about, what are patients looking for? Really, they're looking for three things. One is, are you an expert? Today, people want specialists for everything. I want to go to a sushi restaurant. I want a restaurant that just does amazing sushi, right? Whatever we are looking for, we don't want the second best, the third best. We want the very best. So I'm looking for implants. Am I finding a dentist who is really good at doing implants? Can I see his cases? What kind of outcomes has he been able to produce, or has she been able to produce? Showcase those cases, right? Especially the full face pictures. If you go through 100 websites, I guarantee not even 5% of the websites will have those types of wonderful pictures today in 2024. So they're finding you, but you're like not convincing them. So they leave you and they go find somebody else who is convincing them that they're better than you. So don't make that mistake. So leverage these before and after pictures. Videos, right? One fear people have of dentists or any types of doctors is, perhaps you know too much. Perhaps you're smarter than me. So maybe I can't understand you. I cannot explain my fears to you in layman's terms. So create videos that are 45 seconds to 1 minute long at the most, where you're talking and explaining things in simple language that everyone can understand, not all the technical jargon and all the technical terms. Again, look at 100 websites. How many of them have these types of videos that are specific to that page that I'm on? Like if I'm on the veneers page, talking to me about veneers, welcoming me to that page, asking me to look around, telling me a little bit about themselves, all those tiny details, right? I mean, if anyone is curious about how to optimize pages, two books I would recommend. We'll put it in show notes. One is called Don't Make Me Think. It's a Bible on web design. The other one is called Influence by Dr. Robert Cialdini. They're wonderful books to understand how to influence people.
Let's do one more round as we kind of approach the finish line here. One more kind of rapid fire round with the three of us. And the question is, I'll go first, Curtis and Aaron, so you guys think. What is one thing you would like our listeners to know that was a takeaway from those that attended live? And I'll start while you guys think of it. So one thing that I would like you to know that those that attended our event live know because they attended is that every year can be your new best year yet. Now, it's not going to happen accidentally, and it's not going to happen just by wishing for it. It's going to be happening through intention. And one of the commonalities is that, it's a quote that I love. If you want to be successful, do what successful people do. So if you want to have a thriving world-class practice, do what thriving world-class practices do. And you'll see, and it takes some work and effort and stick-to-itiveness, but you'll see those results. So every year that's my takeaway I want all of you to have. Every year can be your new best year, but it's not going to happen just by wishing and hoping. It's going to happen through action. Curtis, what's something you'd like our listeners to know that those that attended the live event know from what they learned?
Yeah, so mine's actually fairly similar to Gary's. Oddly, we look fairly similar and we think similar, and I'm going to give a similar one. So the biggest thing I would say is learn from others, just like I would learn from others running with the bulls, right? Learn from others. Use these benchmarks of what other people are doing, compare it to what you're doing, and improve. And that for those who are watching this video, I showed the benchmarks from 2022 and 2023. If you'd like to have that benchmark report, I'd love to give it to you at no charge. Just fill out, go to Thriving Practice.
Yeah, so let me give you the link to that. It's thrivingdentist.com/DI. So DI for dental intelligence. Thrivingdentist.com/DI. And specifically, this resource is amazing. It's dentistry benchmarks comparing 2023 to 2022. And what I would like all of you to do is get that and then think about what you're going to do in 2024 based on the benchmarks that you see there. This is like peeling back the onion or, the wizard's curtain. You get to see what really world-class practices are doing.
Amen.
Awesome. Thank you, Curtis, for putting that together. And thanks for making it available. It's free. Thanks for making it available to our listeners. Aaron, how about you?
It's the biggest thing. Make sure to learn from others. That's my big takeaway. Aaron.
Awesome. Aaron,
Thank
you're
you.
up. What's something that you want our listeners to know that those attending live took away from the event?
Absolutely, Gary. And first, I want to take a minute to thank Curtis. Trust me, I am seriously thinking about running with the bulls because you taught me things I didn't know till like 30 minutes ago. So, but I totally agree with Curtis. Learn from others. Don't make the mistakes and go through the pain others go through. Might as well learn from them. And I think both coaching as well as data are very good ways to do that. So, just shout out for you to you guys.
One of my favorite quotes came from Sir Isaac Newton. We all remember Isaac Newton. Sir Isaac Newton famously said, "If I can see further, it's because I've stood on the shoulders of giants." And I think that is a great way to summarize our podcast today. I want to thank Curtis and Aaron for joining us on the podcast.
Gary, can I give you my sorry?
Yeah, go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I just want to thank Curtis. So my tip today is, SEO is the hardest, but also the best in terms of cost per new patient. So we have done benchmark studies. It costs literally 1/5 to 1/10 of Google Ads. And if you are on a PPO plan, it could even be 20 times of a difference. So in other words, instead of spending $20,000 on PPO plans, which are marketing, plans sending you new patients, you could spend $1,000. So I would recommend take a look at search engine optimization as an option if you want to do well with the dental buyer's journey and you're attracting new patients. The link for that is ekwa.com/MSM. At no cost, we will do a marketing strategy review. We will study your marketing, give you a report card, and also give you a plan on how you can get into the top 5% that's going to enjoy 95% of the free traffic.
Yeah. Thanks, Aaron. Well, as we wrap up today, special thanks to Curtis and Naren. You know, I tell my clients I wouldn't want to practice without your resources, and wouldn't want to practice without dental intelligence, wouldn't want to practice without Equal Marketing. You've got two powerhouse resources there to really help drive your practice to become a world-class thriving practice. Again, just quick reminder, if you'd like more information about dental intel, a good place to start would be to go to thrivingdentist.com/DI. You'll get a copy of those dentistry benchmarks. And while you're on their website, I would encourage you to schedule a demo and see how powerful that dental intel can be for your practice. And likewise, Naren, if any of our listeners are interested in getting more quality new patients, spending less than they ever have on marketing, but getting better results, then schedule a marketing strategy meeting. Go to thrivingdentist.com/MSM, stands for Marketing Strategy Meeting. So thank you, Curtis. Thank you, Naren. Thanks to our audience. We look forward to connecting with you on the next Thriving Dentist Show.